Let's talk about crushes. Because mostly when we talk about love spells, it's usually about an ex. Because a lot of people are trying to bring back an ex with a spell, and love spells are mostly used for that purpose. It can also be to find new love, but it can also be for a crush. And this is the most problematic, I would say, out of all three mentioned. So, the easiest situation is when you seek new love. Okay. Then we have when you're trying to get your ex back because your ex obviously did care for you, at least if not love you, was attracted to you, all of that. You certainly know your ex did like you at a point. And then the hardest one with the love spells are crushes. Why? Because sometimes we have a crush on someone that does not like us, and that's just why. But a love spell is good to do in that case just to see if there's something there. Because what a spell can do regarding a crush is emphasize your attractiveness in terms they'll if they already are attracted to you, they're gonna be more attracted and attracted, sorry, and they're gonna have urge to do something about it. Also, if they like you but they are kind of seeing someone else, or they are maybe even in a relationship, or they are there's some kind of a obstacle, they are scared of getting hurt, they don't want to be in a relationship, they don't want to be committed, they're scared of love, whatever the case may be, a love spell is great then. However, if you have a crush on someone that's just not interested in you at all, and there's nothing a spell can emphasize, I hope I'm using the right term. Nothing spell can make bigger. Anyways, if your crush just doesn't like you at all, doesn't find you pretty, sexy, attractive, is not attracted, then the spell is not gonna work. But at least you're gonna know, right? And you can like give up on this crush and move to the next crush, basically. So, it's not bad to do a love spell when you have a crush at all. So, I'm gonna tell you my fail story with my crush. It was way back when, but never mind. I'm gonna share it anyways. So it was back in the day when Facebook it was popular. So I was young, obviously, and I saw this really pretty guy, and I was like in a period of my life where I was single, and I was kind of getting already, annoyed with it, but there was nobody I liked in my town, and I just, I was like looking at the guys when I went out and stuff, and I was just thinking, oh God, they're all so blah. I just don't find any of them interesting or attractive or anything. And so on Facebook, I just one of my friends posted a photo with this guy that just looked amazing. Not amazing literally. It was just my type, because we all have our types. So, well, he is objectively very good looking, but nothing amazing. Just a good looking guy that happens to be my type. I'm not gonna get into describing him or anything. He was totally my type, and I was like, he's so pretty, and I just added him on Facebook as a friend. And he did accept my friend request, and like, I don't know, a week went by or something, and I was kind of hoping he was gonna like message me, maybe ask me why I did him, although I wouldn't know what to say. And, he didn't. And then, it was a Saturday night and I was just home and bored. And, back then when I was young, like weekends without going out was like, oh, it made me feel so depressed, basically, that I'm home and like stuff. So I was talking to my friend and I was like, you know what? She was like, actually, you know what? You should just like message him, and you shouldn't care because he was not from our town. He was from a different place. So you shouldn't really care or be embarrassed because you're probably never gonna see him in your life, and whatever. You should just do it. You never know. So and then we spent an hour like thinking what should I write, because I never actually messaged a guy first. And we were like debating on what to write, and we came up with something and I sent it. And he did reply, and the reply was like, okay, he wrote a long sentence and he asked me something. And, we talked like that for a couple of days. But what I noticed was that he was replying like every, I don't know how many hours, but let's just say he was like sending only 4 messages per day, which was obviously a sign that he was not like very interested. He could have been busy, but I did see him online often, and he did not just reply. He did not reply to me, um, for like ages, even though he was online often. So it kind of got to me, oh, this guy is like polite and maybe slightly interested, but obviously not interested in maybe probably like seeing someone or something like that. He wasn't like replying dry or anything, but it was just that problem. So what I did was a communication spell for me and him, just because I wanted our communication to be more often. But then again, of course, as a witch, I knew that if he is not interested or whatever, it will not work. The spell will not work, and at least I'm gonna know for sure and just give up. And that spells do need like a month at least to start working. So I stopped replying to messages just to see if something's gonna happen, and it never did. So basically I just waited for like a month, and I just knew, because communication spells often sorry, I did not wait for a month. Communication spells often give like little they tend to work faster when there's already communication, when something is already happening. So they will give you some movements, and there were like no movements. It was even worse the next day. So he took even longer to reply, and that's when I kind of took it as a sign, because since I'm a witch, I kind of did craft a spell in a way that I get immediate sign. And I took it, like I said, as a sign. And when that reply came, I just did not reply back and just forgot about him. I did kind of like him, but I didn't really develop a full crush or anything, because there was no basis for that. I'm not gonna crush because someone is attractive to me, obviously, if he's not interested at all. So Yes, you can do the same thing. You can maybe, if you and your crush are in communication, but it's like this or something like that, you can do a communication spell. And then if it doesn't get better, just take it as a sign and move on, because this is not your person, okay? So, yeah, that's kind of how it is. You can't force someone to like you if they don't. And it's just the problem with crushes, because with exes, you can rekindle the emotions or the attractiveness or whatever, because it was there. And obviously, this person does have it for you. And then your crush may not have it for you. And there is no point in dwelling and stuff like that. If someone just it's the same, look at it the same as with yourself. When someone has a crush on you and tries something and you're just not interested and you just don't like the person, you just don't find the person attractive, they're not your type, whatever, it's the same thing. So just take it lightly, because it is. So if the spell doesn't work, just be like, fine, okay, and move on, because it's not a big of a deal. Okay. So I hope this helps, and bye.